Hey guys, I get to chat with my friend Alex, Mr. Successful himself. And when I say successful, I mean that's his verified Instagram handle, successful. He has a few lifestyle social media accounts, a true social media guru. Today, he shares how important it is, not just on social media, but in life, to be authentic and to focus on the right things. So, here's a story about when a man's biggest regret creates his biggest triumphs. The result, a social media guru. Welcome, Alex.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me, love.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we are going to dive into some questions that the audience wants to know about you, how great and how big you've become. But let's go all the way back and start out with your story.
I always wanted to be a pilot growing up, and I had a middle class upbringing in Buffalo, New York. And I didn't know people with airplanes. I did not know people in aviation, but every time I saw an airplane fly by, I said, I want to be a pilot. And I said, I'll make that happen someday. So when I was in high school, I thought, I could be a fighter jet pilot. So I went to a military recruiter and said, I'd like to sign on to the Air Force. And the recruiter, after meeting me for about half an hour, said, Alex, it's not for you. It's not for your personality. It's not for your lifestyle. And I suggest you just go to college and focus on your career. So I listened. I did it. And it was the biggest mistake of my life. But since then, a lot of things have changed. And I knew that I could become a pilot. I thought I should be a military pilot, but in the meantime, I did the college thing, became an entrepreneur, and I worked on getting my pilot's license. So I did that about 14 years ago. I started flight training to get my pilot's license. Then the economy crashed, and I could not self fund the whole pilot's license thing. Then I rebuilt the business, got back on my feet, and at about the same time, that's when the NASA shuttle program ended. And it really affected me in a hard way. So I said, who are kids going to look up to in aviation? There's going to be no more astronauts. No astronauts, pilots will be irrelevant. And at that point, my mission became to get my pilot's license and to encourage the youth to fly and keep aviation relevant.
That's amazing. And then, so how did you going from aviation to where you are today?
I'm a
Okay.
very social type creature, and I'm hosting people at my condo a lot for cocktails, parties, and people mix up their drinks. I got sick of people mixing up drinks, and I said, we need a way to tell whose cocktails are whose. So the idea was put something on your drink to know whose is whose. I went on Amazon and I saw these plastic monkeys, little monkey trinkets. So if you came over my condo, you get a red cocktail marker on your drink. I get a green one on mine. Somebody else get a blue one. Problem solved. And we would go out to bars with these little silly monkeys hanging from our drinks. People would say, "Hey, what is that? Can I have one? What does it mean?" And it didn't have much meaning besides a cocktail marker, but it became this conversation starter. And I like that because it got people talking, communicating, got strangers to start conversations. So I give these cocktail markers to people while out in public. And people would send me these silly little monkeys out snowboarding on a boat in an airplane. And then I got sick of getting pictures. I knew that Instagram was for pictures. So it was a monkey. I live in West Palm Beach, Florida, which is paradise. Monkey in paradise, Instagram was born. Then I just shared pictures that people sent me. That's all I did. And it grew to 10,000 followers on Instagram and Facebook. At that point, I said, this is a marketing platform of some sort. So I was out with two of my best friends, Frank and Seth. I said, guys, let's do something with this. This is a marketing platform. And we happened to be out at a bar. We saw all the liquor behind the bar. We said, how boring is their marketing? How boring are their concepts? What if we use this monkey in paradise cocktail marker social platform connector? What if we use this and made monkey in paradise vodka? 4 years ago, we created monkey in paradise vodka. That's how I learned social media. So I was running Monkey in Paradise, Instagram, Facebook, and it became a successful spirits brand. Today, one of the fastest spirits brands in the world. We're in over 10,000 points of distribution, 37 states. And that's how I learned the social media thing. But my true passion was aviation. And I saw the same thing in aviation. I saw that the whole industry really lacks on social media, just like liquor did and still does. So I knew if I could really focus on aviation and Instagram, Facebook, and now TikTok, I could be relevant and motivate the youth and get them excited about aviation again.
So that kind of answers my question. So how and why did you venture out into the other platforms?
Facebook was my first platform, but Instagram was really for pictures. So I knew that with these monkey pictures, we're just going to post them on Instagram. And that started growing. That was when you could really organically grow on Instagram. Things have changed a lot since then. I mean, that was 3 to 4 years ago. So now I've really transitioned to TikTok. TikTok is a platform where you can organically grow quickly. So I'd say 80% of my focus now is on TikTok.
Interesting, interesting. Because you put out a lot of content, a lot. And as a content creator myself, I know what it takes for one video, let alone different videos on different platforms. Do you have a creative team behind it?
I don't even have a photographer or videographer.
So it's all organic.
I've
Ladies and gentlemen,
never,
you don't
I've,
need any of that stuff.
I've never planned a video.
Wow.
Everything I post is real time, real life, and opportunities that come at me. And the reason I have these crazy opportunities to fly in privately owned fighter jet trainers, helicopters, business jets is the Monkey in Paradise story. And what's intrigued these aircraft owners is it's a middle class kind of a new American dream. I didn't come from any wealth at all. Neither did my two friends I started the brand with. So we were just middle class guys with a dream. We put our small life savings we had into it and create something really successful. So that story resonated. And my passion in aviation, I kind of coupled that along with Monkey in Paradise and started putting the logos on fighter jet trainers, helicopters, boats, race cars. And the reason that that opportunity came was they loved this story of hard work and really, really building something from scratch.
So you must be you're obviously a very social person. You don't have a team, you just organically collect and create content.
On
So
social media, yes.
on
For
social media,
for the liquor brand that I have now, we have a big team behind that now. But initially for the launches, no. In my personal social media, all my social media platforms are 100% organic. Whatever I'm doing that day.
that's crazy. And so you must, and the reason I say you must be social, because for somebody who plans and strategizes, like I know that I'm creating certain pieces of content during certain events. But then one event leads to the next event and to the next, and I just don't have time to post everything. But for for it to be consistent, because I see you're posting all the time. It's consistent on all platforms, and it's fun, and it's very, very, very engaging. A lot of people ask that it's one of the most major questions.
Sure.
Do you plan? How do you strategize?
I don't have the ability to plan because every dollar I've ever earned went into my liquor brand, Monkey in Paradise Vodka. So I don't have the budget to charter a jet, to pay for fuel in a jet. So it's what comes my way, the invite of the day. So that's
Okay,
the crazy part.
but let's kind of go back a little. But for you to be that successful in all your pages. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen out there, he has multiple pages on Instagram alone. Um, and I haven't checked out your Facebook, to be honest. And I did check out your TikTok. You have tons of content. How is it that you've gotten to this point where you have a high reach, high engagement, a lot of, your audience is huge. You must have started somewhere and said, hey, this is where I want to be. This is what I follow. This is what I want to replicate, with my creativity. Where does that, I'm trying to dive into your planning, your planning strategy. Like, how did you get from, posting pictures of and for Monkey in Paradise to where you are today? Like, you had to have some kind of strategy.
It's been the day-to-day life, sharing my story, and did that on Instagram semi-successfully. Then somebody I looked up to that runs very big Instagram pages said, Alex, hop on TikTok right now. I said, that's the last thing I want is another platform
Right.
or
Right.
someplace else to post because I have a bunch of Instagram pages, Facebook. I don't have time and I don't monetize off these pages. I mean, so
Sure.
this is just for fun. It's 100% fun. And my friend said, just use similar content on TikTok and just start posting it. I did it and started really, really working. And at that point, I started learning TikTok and got much more serious about TikTok than Instagram or Facebook because there's zero strategy in my Facebook or Instagram, totally as it comes. TikTok, I actually edit my videos and spend a little more time. I'm looking at posting times. I'm looking at the content views, the length of the videos. So TikTok is the only one I really truly do any strategy for at this point. Then everything else is kind of a byproduct of TikTok.
Sure. So you basically allocate your money and time into what makes you money.
The question I get every day, how did you get verified? Get me verified. I get 10 people a day coming to me with that. And I wrote an article about it. And just to backtrack a little bit, the Monkey in Paradise story is so popular that Florida Weekly newspaper gave me my own newspaper column called Living in Paradise. You can write whatever I want, half a page weekly. And I enjoyed that, did well with it. That turned into Forbes. Then that turned into my dream, which was Flying Magazine. I got to do a feature in there. So those are some platforms I really leveraged. And then started focusing on TikTok. I didn't think I'd get verified because it's so hard. There's so many scams out there. Everybody says, "Hey, pay me $5,000. I'll submit you." It's not
Don't do
true.
it, guys. Don't do it.
Not true. There's only one formula for getting verified on social media platforms. You have to be really relevant. You have to be the best in your field with the content you're actually producing, and you need really strong media articles to back you up.
Awesome.
That's how you do it. There's no exceptions. I don't care if you can pay $1 million to Instagram, you're not getting verified. So
Right.
you absolutely have to have those credentials.
You do. No, you do. A lot of people, it's so funny because people always ask, like,
there's no secret formula. But what did put me over the edge? So I had a lot of newspaper articles and great content, but I had a couple TikTok videos that were really viral. I was flying in a friend of mine's fighter jet trainer, and I G-locked from the G's and I passed out. And it got 3 million views on TikTok. So that's where it started. And then Daily Mail, the newspaper, did a deal with me to buy the content, to buy the videos and content and do an article. Then after that, it went to 50 million views throughout all these platforms. All the biggest YouTube channels picked it up. All the biggest Instagram accounts picked it up. But I need a huge, huge platform like a Daily Mail to feature me, do a huge feature on me. So it took that, it took Forbes articles, it took local media articles, it took TV news interviews, national, local. So you all that press, took the content, and it took the dedication to make it happen. And there's no shortcut.
None. I agree.
None.
So
So I needed the Daily Mail, and the Daily Mail saw the TikTok video and put it actually in the headline. And that's how I got verified on TikTok, because the Daily Mail flat out said, Alex Coden, 3 million views on TikTok. So TikTok verified me. Then after that, I submitted to Instagram a couple of days later, and within 4 hours, verified. And I applied for years Like, what's going on here? Can anybody help me? I reached out to these people. I said, help me, help me, help me. But you cannot do it unless you have the major media, the content be best in class.
For people out there who have multiple accounts, um, do you know if there is a guarantee that if one account is verified, then the other will be?
No, it's no guarantee at all. Only my personal account's verified, my main personal account. So I have my main personal account, which is at successful, but then
Mhm,
I have at Alex the Pilot one, which is just aviation, and
mhm.
I'm submitting that now, and it gets denied.
Oh, so that isn't verified.
Nope. Then Aviation Daily, over 800,000 followers,
Mhm.
won't get verified because it doesn't have any direct press corresponding to it. So,
Wow,
so, so Forbes has never covered Aviation Daily. Daily Mail has not. So they've covered me personally. So that's the only reason my personal was verified.
interesting. So let's go personal.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go personal. At what point did you realize that you were an influencer?
That's a tough word.
It's
Influencer.
a tough.
What is an influencer?
An influencer to me is somebody who can influence or inspire, good, bad, just people to move, just people to react
I
based on
agree with that.
your content.
I hate that word because I see people that have a million followers, just girls or guys in bikinis showing their bodies.
Mhm.
That's not an influencer because that person cannot get anybody to do anything.
Right.
So it has nothing to do with the amount of followers. And
Oh, absolutely.
people think, oh, if you have a million followers, you're an influencer, and that is so wrong
It
because you can't influence anybody to do anything.
I absolutely agree. Did you get excited recognizing that you were an influencer?
And I respond to every single person that sends me a DM and truly wants to communicate and doesn't want something financially or something silly. So I spend the time with anybody that wants to have a serious conversation. And that's really what's valuable to me and what I love.
So we're going personal. Do you get crazy DMs?
I do.
What are some of the craziest DMs?
So I was telling my friends yesterday, actually, when I go out and people come up to me and say, hey, I love your social media question, but it's always men. There are no female fans.
You're lying.
I swear.
What? That's so odd.
And I talked to some of my lady friends about this. I'm like, what is up with this? Because I send screenshots. It's just so ridiculous all the time.
Guys?
Like, what is up with all the fanboys? And
Yeah.
they say, everything you post is very male centric. I mean, you're doing crazy, wild things in airplanes, boats, cars, helicopters.
True.
Like every guy wants to do that.
That's true. I agree. I have to agree with them. And then, so how does that make you feel?
It's annoying but flattering, I guess. But I truly like the people that reach out for value and want advice and want to talk about business
Sure.
or want to learn about aviation. That's what's valuable to me. That's what makes me happy.
Yeah. I get a lot of crazy. I do get I mean, a lot of proposals, a lot of, opportunities, a lot. I mean, there's just so much out there, it's great. To me, Instagram is a really great marketing tool. It's such a
It
great
is.
marketing platform. I'm a very visual person, so I love it. I mean, I love it. I think it works. I think it's perfect for anything visual, right?
I
And
agree.
so,
And I should get more serious about it, but I totally pretty much quit using my personal account. And then it happened to get verified and I got interested again. So, like, you know what? The reach stinks. Instagram changed a algorithm now. And it's pay to play. They want you to spend money on advertising. So I really gave up on Instagram,
yeah.
honestly, and did a whole focus on TikTok. But then I started getting back into Instagram again.
Yeah,
But
I think as a business owner, you have to switch your focus. It's no longer about just just the likes or the comments. It's really how
Yeah,
many
I
people.
I used to care about that,
Yeah,
but
I did.
now, I mean, my biggest piece of advice: who cares about the engagement, comments, like? Just do your thing.
Exactly. Just do it. And it compiles after so many, you know, weeks, months, years. And then after, you've created such a rhythm, you find your way and you really perfect your niche, right?
For
Um,
sure. Then a lot of times when you see these people, this massive engagement, all these comments and likes, a lot of it is fake,
it
which I
is.
learned, which is so crazy. And some of the biggest people we look up to, a lot of it is fake.
It
And
is.
I've just never cared enough, and neither should anybody else care enough to ever do that. Just do your thing and be you.
Do your thing and be you. I love that. I love that. I love all your messages, Alex.
I've done so many cool brand deals because I have events, the social media stuff. Now our event Saturday we have coming up, which is called Wheels, Wings, and Fashion. And it's a hanger party that brings everything I love to the public in one night. So you can come to this hangar party in Boca Raton, Florida, have access to private jets, fighter jet trainers, the hottest exotic cars in the world, fashion shows, food, open bar. And for this event, we're gonna have 400 people, but we have sponsors like McLaren. We have sponsors like Lamborghini. So it was incredible, huge corporate sponsors. So that's where at now, but it started off with smaller brands, smaller clothing brands, watch companies, and then it just grew into something really special.
When did you get excited about your first approach when they first pitched you?
Yeah, of course it's exciting, but I've always been a business guy, so I've seen it coming, and I knew that's going to morph because it all started off with Monkey in Paradise by mistake, and then that's when I knew it was going to become a business, and that opened up the craziest opportunities in the world, from most the rarest exotic cars to the fastest privately owned fighter jets getting invites to drive these cars, fly the jets, create content just because they like the whole really working your butt off as a middle class person, learning social media and creating what I call the new American dream.
Because everyone needs to really understand the concept behind starting from a dream, which
Absolutely. And it's still an adventure. It's still really hard. I'm still not there. And
Mhm.
people see all these crazy things on my social media, the jets, the helicopters, the cars. And I try to have the messaging say that it's not mine. It's hard to portray, but it's the crazy invitations I'm getting. And I'm not in a position to have that kind of stuff yet. I will be, but not yet. And
I
it's a
love
hard message to deliver, but everybody that's listening to us can do the same thing.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I also love the fact everything that you love, you've placed all in one event and
How
have
cool is
shared
that? So I
it.
can
It's
see it,
so
touch it,
cool.
be a part of it.
Totally cool. Like I love fashion, wings, the just the wheels, the whole shebang. So everyone out there, if you want to meet me and Alex, we're going to be at this event. I will be there.
Boca Raton this
Yes,
Saturday, April 17th, Wheels, Wings, and Fashion. And all the proceeds are for charity.
love it. Do you find that it's hard to talk to people around you who are not in this arena? We're kind of around the same age. That if you're not in your early 20s, that people just don't get it.
No, because my entire circle of people that I surround myself is very similar. Most of us are pilots, mostly entrepreneurs, mostly self made, and we're all much younger spirits.
Uh-huh.
So we are much young, we present much younger than we actually are.
That's amazing. That's
So
great.
we do a really good job connecting with that younger generation.
That's
I think
great.
that's so important. It's a big part of my mission is to get that younger generation excited about what we're doing.
That's amazing. That's great. And I absolutely agree. Like people, there's not a lot of people that know how old I am. And I'm
Let me tell you
loving
something. I'm
it.
going to tell you how to know somebody's age. Age does not matter how many days you wake up in a bed. It's how you feel and how you act. That is your
Exactly.
real age.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. I've met people that are 20 that act like they're 80. I've met people that are 60 that act like they're 20. And your real age is how you act, how you feel, and how you present yourself.
Exactly. Love it. Wise words. As you use this platform, you already had a product, which was Monkey in Paradise, your vodka. Did you have to pitch a lot?
In the beginning, yeah, of course, because we had to raise the investor money. It was
And
really hard.
who taught you how to pitch?
I learned it on my own because it was my passion, and I didn't have the experience in the business. Neither did my business partners.
I
So
love
this
what
is a
you said. Like when you're convicted, and I say that all the time, when you're convicted and you know that you have a good product or service, you can sell anything. You can sell it. You can and people see the passion in what you sell, and people buy you, and then they buy your product and
of
your,
course.
and so when you have that passion there, and I could tell you're a passionate person when you talk about passion. Did you take any classes? What classes did you take? Or did you have mentors or seminars that you went to, or did you just learn along the way?
I learned along the way, the hard way. But I agree with you. If you could take seminars and learn it, you could speed up the process. So I just did it the hard way. And it was a lot easier when I did it 4 years ago, keep in mind. It's much harder to grow on Instagram today than it was 4 years ago.
It
It was
is.
much easier 8 years ago than it was 4 years ago. So now it's become a pay to play and for profit platform.
Sure.
So Instagram wants you to pay for your own audience to see your posts. So these social media platforms change. TikTok's gonna go the same way. So it's a gold rush now. It's gotten a lot harder over the past 6 months than it was 6 months ago. And I tell people you guys stay on the edge and keep finding new platforms, building on the old ones. I think
Okay.
that's really important. And right now, I've not seen anything that has me all that interested. So TikTok is still the focus, but it's become exponentially harder over the past 6 months. And I've
Interesting.
seen my growth slowed way, way down.
It's about the excitement.
I'd say it's a lifestyle I try to capture. It's not all that time consuming for me because it's what I'm doing. I bring my GoPro Max and my iPhone, and that's it. If I need it, I use it. If I don't, I don't.
Interesting. So that's all, those are the only two pieces of equipment you have.
That's it.
No photographers, no videographers. You do it all on your own. And so you don't spend much time editing. You literally capture it and post.
That's it. I mean,
So
it's never more than 20 minutes with any edit or anything like that.
for those out there that, uh, what advice would you give for those out there who want to become influencers, who have a small following? What advice would you give them about apps, uh, equipment, just pretty much the logistics of stuff?
I say that stuff does not matter. It's all about your content being you and connecting with your audience. So I don't care if you have a $100,000 camera. If you're not connecting with your audience and creating great content in your space, it doesn't matter. So just focus on your content. Don't worry all that much about the editing. Don't worry about the engagement. Just be really good in your space, in your niche.
What are some of the companies that have approached you that have been like really fun, where you feel like you're on top of your marketing game, your digital marketing game, because now they want you to be a part of their brand?
So one of the exciting brands, it's not a big deal for me, but an exciting deal, Top Gun, the movie. When
Uh-huh.
I was a kid, I loved that movie. And their fashion brand, Top Gun Fashion, reached out, and we're doing a deal together to represent their clothing line.
How cool is
And
that?
it's such awesome clothing. I love Top Gun as a kid. We have the new movie coming out here at the end of this year. Then I may have a deal coming up with the Navy and actually going to Top Gun, where the pilots train. So like that was one of the coolest, most exciting deals to me. I don't get approached by all that many brands, believe it or not, because my following is not huge. And I don't want the audience to think they were exaggerating my audience or my following. It's a strong following in my niche, but
Mhm.
it's not a 10 million follower following. So
Okay.
it's good for what I do. And that's all you should care about is your niche, what you do. Who cares about the amount of followers?
Well, some of the best engagement and the best quality of influencing, most of them are nano influencers, those with
Absolutely.
thousand, 1,000 followers and below, and then you get into the micro influencers and then normal influencers and then the macro influencers. So they're different tiers, but all of them are effective,
Correct.
if you're engaging, so it doesn't really matter the amount of followers that you have, you know.
Correct. And you can sell any product based on your niche. And I'll prove it to you. You can sell anything on a huge scale. Go to any supermarket and go to the beverage aisle. Bottled water, something for free. You can get out of your sink. Look how much shelf space it takes up. That proves you can sell anything to anybody. You can sell water in a supermarket and have like 25% of an aisle taking up water, something that's free.
So true.
So it's all about how you package it and how you market it.
Exactly. So true. Great example. Obviously, it's when you passed out, when you were in the jet. That was your best content, should I say?
Yeah, it's done me the best personally. It's advanced me the farthest on social media.
What's your favorite post?
Oh boy, I did a really fun four-part series on Instagram last week, and it's special to
Okay.
me. I was with my mother, and
Oh,
my mother cannot keep up my lifestyle. She hates it. She thinks I'm out of control, and I got her to go in a helicopter. She hates airplanes, helicopters, fast cars. I convinced her to go in a helicopter, and I knew it's going to be hilarious, and she's going to freak out. So I figured this could be an amazing experience. She's going to do it. She's doing it for me. But I knew it would be content gold having her in a helicopter. And I videoed all of it on my GoPro Max camera. And the videos are so funny of her freaking out, melting down. Alex, don't
you're not
turn
right,
around.
Alex.
Let's go. So I love spending time with my family. I'm a big family guy. And having my mother in a helicopter, she would never normally do. I don't know how I convinced her. It was so special for me to have her with me in the
With you and
helicopter.
your mom?
Yeah,
That's
we did.
awesome.
We did that in Arizona on a little family trip we did. So to me, that was really special.
How did you convince her?
I said, listen, we're gonna have some fun here, and I'm gonna take you sightseeing. You've not really done much in Arizona. We can go see the mountains and everything. We'll cover so much more ground. It'll mean a lot to me. It'll be really smooth, I promise you. So I got her in a helicopter, just freaking out the entire time. So I broke it up over an intro video,
Right?
walking up to the helicopter, and she's so sarcastic. She's saying, "Oh, I'm so happy we're doing this," and she's just being so sarcastic and snarky. So I get her in the helicopter. We take off, freaking out. We're over the boneyard, looking at all the retired
Oh
Air
yeah.
Force aircraft. She's just melting down. Stop turning. Look at me. Focus on flying. And then we did a whole landing photo where she can't even stand straight. She's so wound up.
Oh, you. That's even better.
Well, to add to it, an instructor was teaching me. So I have some helicopter
Oh
experience.
my gosh.
So I was in the pilot seat getting instruction.
Hence
And
why she's telling you to pay attention to what you're doing as opposed to sightseeing.
I'm pretty confident in a helicopter,
Uh-huh.
much more confident than she probably knows and feels comfortable with.
That's so funny. And so what was her reaction when she got off the ride?
Never again. You're the worst son ever. Things like that.
But you caught this all on video.
Oh, I caught it all. It was just so funny and special.
That's awesome.
I've had so many great ones that I think are going to blow up and go viral, and then they don't. So you never know. I had one random post. We flew an Eclipse jet from West Palm Beach to Naples, Florida. And my buddy is sitting in a chair at the restaurant. And the chair collapses out of nowhere. And he falls on his back. So, of course, I get my phone out immediately. Like, hey, what's wrong with you? What do you do with this chair? Then I got the restaurant to give me the security footage.
Even
And
better.
it just shows him sitting there in a chair collapsing. And I thought this would be so viral. It's just so ridiculous to have a chair randomly collapse. And it shows me within like 1.5 seconds, I have my phone out, videoing him, criticizing him. What's wrong with you? You can't behave here. You broke the chair. So it was like precious reaction time. So when I see great content, I'm really quick at it.
Uh-huh.
It just shows this dialed in reaction time.
That's awesome.
And it didn't do well. I mean, I think it
Huh.
was maybe 15,000 views on TikTok and 1,000 on Instagram. There's no formula. I can never tell if it's going to do well or not. Honestly, I
Huh.
can't. As experienced as I am, I don't know.
Because it's so hard. And that's your answer in a nutshell. Like a lot of people are disappointed when they don't get the numbers they receive. Like
Yeah,
I love your advice earlier. It's like just keep continue.
yeah.
Continue to post.
Well,
Continue to
for
create.
example, my, the whole passing out video in the fighter jet was a
Mhm.
year old. I posted on Instagram, and it
Oh
did
wow.
not do well. I repurposed it for TikTok.
Dang. When did you post that on TikTok?
Probably about 8 months ago. And
Yeah.
then I posted it a year before that on Instagram and nothing on Instagram. Repurposed it for TikTok and it blew up.
That's a great lesson in itself. That
And I
whole
knew it was a cool video, but
and that's what a lot of people need to understand out there. It's like you don't have to constantly create,
it's
because
true.
you have
Yeah,
content out there. You just need to repurpose it. You
absolutely.
know. Um, you're on Facebook, you're on TikTok, you're on LinkedIn.
A little bit. I do very
So,
little. I
but
don't do any
more
posts there. I have a
Instagram.
profile.
So you're more on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Do you post? Do
Yeah.
you change the message or do you just post the same content on all three platforms?
It's normally different content with different timing, but sometimes if I did something on Facebook three days ago, I might do it on Instagram today. But with TikTok, it's a different format. So it's horizontal versus vertical.
Sure.
So TikTok's a whole different animal. But what I will do is I will take TikTok posts and put them on Instagram and Facebook because I
Interesting.
don't really care about engagement or anything there. It's
Right.
kind of just my personal page just to share. And I'm not chasing engagement or anything there.
Right. That's amazing. I love the moral of this whole podcast is just being you, being authentic, sharing your story, just being consistent and just being authentic. I love
That's
that.
it. I think that's the most important part. You can't take it too seriously. Yeah, be yourself, be you, and don't worry about the numbers. Don't worry about the little things. Let that come.
You've obviously done really well with Monkey in Paradise. What other goals do you have?
Well, I accomplished the biggest goal of my life last year, and that was to fly with the Thunderbirds in an F-16. That was the pinnacle, the most impossible thing to pull off that money can't buy. You can't work your way in no matter what. So for the past 20 years, I've been trying to make that happen. And I pulled it off.
Share the audience how you pulled that off.
I said, I'm going to tell a story. I'm going to convince the Air Force why Alex. So built my social media and I started building a media package. Oh, Facebook has 2,000 followers, Instagram has 4,000, TikTok has 3,000, whatever it may be. Then as Monkey in Paradise started growing, my social media platform started growing. And I started writing for Florida Weekly newspaper, started writing for Forbes, started flying these cool planes, becoming relevant in aviation. So all my platforms are growing, kept building this media package. I sent it to the Air Force, the Navy. I started hanging out at air shows, meeting the pilots that are flying the demo teams and giving them this press pack, and nothing. Just got laughed at, saying, it's just too ridiculous of an ask. Then 3 years ago, a friend of mine was very connected politically, is running for governor of New York. And he was very connected to the Department of Defense. So I got him to get one of the top officials from the Department of Defense on the phone to tell my story. I told my story. And he said, "What do you want?" I said, "I want to fly with the Thunderbirds or maybe a demo team or an F-16 or F-18." And this gentleman told me, "This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Do not waste anybody's time in the government with the Air Force and Navy. You should have joined when you're younger and earned your way in." End of story. So big setback, but I kept building my whole media package. It's not going anywhere. I'm emailing it. I'm sending to everybody. I'm talking to anybody that will listen. Then at the Reno Air Races 2 years ago, there was a golf cart and there was a piece of paper taped to it. It said Thunderbirds on it. It said, "Hey, this is a lead. What the heck? Let's just talk to them." So the two guys in flight suits walked over. I said, "Guys, I have the craziest question. If somebody were to make a decision on a civilian flying in one of your jets, who would it be?" The guy says, "This guy. He is our director of communications for the Thunderbirds." I'm like, okay. Told my story and he liked it. He said, "You know what? There's a chance." He said, "Email me your whole media package you put together." I said, "You know what? No, I'm going to text it to you now. I have you right here." So I knew I needed his cell phone number. I've emailed this so many times to everybody that exists. So I got his cell phone number, texted it to him, followed up weekly for about 2 months, nothing. Calling, texting, no responses. Then it was a Friday night, 11 p.m. I get a text message. It says, "Alex, it's on. Check your email." So it was the paperwork, the waivers, medical documents for me to go get a physical from a doctor. And that's how it happened.
Amazing. Such an amazing story.
So it's
Thank
another story of perseverance. And somebody tells you no, how bad do you want it? How bad?
Exactly. And so, so that happened a year ago,
Yeah, a year and a half now.
year and a half. So you prepared how long for that event?
After I got the approval, I hit the gym with a trainer really hard for 5 months because I passed out. Keep in mind my viral video.
Mhm.
I did not want to pass out with the Thunderbirds. And I passed out at about 6.5 G's. And we're going to be doing 9 G's with the Thunderbirds. So I got in the best shape of my life. I did the diet. I was mentally ready, physically ready. So the other story there is, how bad do you want to train for something and make it physically? Because you can do that too.
Well, preparation is key. You can't just have the opportunity and, hand it to you. You have to be prepared for
If you
it.
want a big dream like that, you have to really chase it hard. So if you want to start your own business and be successful with it, or if you want something as hard as a flight as a civilian with the Thunderbirds, it takes extreme commitment, extreme persistence. And once again, best in class, you need to be the one. So you have to make it happen.
Now that you're verified, are you trying to get to a certain mark? 50,000, 100,000, 200,000? Or are you just focused on doing the same thing?
I can care less about the numbers. And that's a true statement. Don't
Mhm.
care about fame, any of that, numbers. It's about having a great time with the people around me and making people happy. That's what matters.
Okay, great. So are we allowed to talk about your next big thing?
It's up to you. You're one of the
Ah,
first ones that knows about it. So yeah, you can tell a little bit about it.
so Monkey in Paradise was such a success story that there's a sequel to Monkey in Paradise, a totally different sequel, right?
Coming soon, and that's all we're going to say for now.
Coming soon, very, very soon,
That's
actually.
right.
That's exciting. Yeah, I
And
can't wait to talk to you again.
it's going to be bigger, better. It's going to happen faster.
And when Alex says it's going to be bigger and better, you got to believe him.
That's right.
What piece of advice would you give them to say, hey, you know what? This is what you need to do?
You have to snap your fingers and go all in. I used to be a private person. I used to be very private. My social media platforms are all private.
Love it.
And with the whole Monkey in Paradise concept thing, I knew that it's going to be very lifestyle oriented. And I knew that people want to follow people and not things.
Mhm.
So I said, you know what? I need to get rid of my privacy. My privacy is done. Everything is going to public. It's an open book. And that's hard because you're going to have haters, you're going to have supporters, and you need to be ready for it. And you have to go all in. You have to be confident, and you can never look back.
I love that. I mean, that is so true. The minute you decide that you go all in, if you're doing the right thing, you're actually, allowing a lot of people out there to benefit from you, from your positive message, from your, the information that you share. You have to go all in. Once you go all in, that's it.
That's it. Don't worry about the people that criticize. You know why? The boos only come from the cheap seats. And don't forget that.
I love that.
So don't let the boos and the haters get in your head. Be you and make it happen.
For you guys out there who have lots of, boos, or you're focusing on certain boos, there are equal amount of yays out there. The supporters have come from, so many different places, so many different corners of the world. And it's so inspiring, and it's so touching to me how many people who out there who have supported me, who have supported my dream, who have like really, really, really befriended me. This network on social media, you end up becoming, family and friends with them, because I've met some of the greatest people on social media, and they become my biggest supporters. I don't know.
Absolutely. I met a
same.
girlfriend on social media.
You did?
I did.
A social media dating app, or
Oh,
straight social media?
I did on Facebook. I saw her in a magazine and I found her on Facebook. No joke. And I sent her a message.
Oh, I thought she approached you.
No, guys don't have it that easy.
Wait, so you approached her, and
I saw her in Maxim magazine
uh-huh,
back in the day, and I found her on Facebook and I sent her a message.
and that's it.
Well, there's a lot more to it, but that's how it
started. That's amazing. Congratulations.
So social media is a powerful tool.
It is a powerful tool. Any other pieces of advice you'd like to share with your audience?
Be yourself. Don't let people bring you down. Be the best at what you do, and always, always keep it positive. Don't ever let a bad day create a bad post or let you respond negatively to somebody. Always positive.
And that's it, guys. Thank you so much, Alex. Hope to have you on again. We'll have all your social media pages listed in the caption.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.